Totem Pole Nation. This is Lambo's World of Sports featuring the Big Brother Fits Inside Sports Network. By the way, this is evidence from a delusional Cowboys fan because how about the Cowboys? I told America that those 49ers are the best team in the NFL, and the game wasn't even close. It wasn't close. What did I tell you on Lambo's World of Sports? What did I tell those other Cowboy fans? If Dak Prescott throws more than 2 interceptions, the game is over. And he threw 3. And by the way, somebody bet me $500 that Dak won't throw a single interception. I got my money, baby. Not only that, they got whooped. They're 3-2. Dallas Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen, they are allergic to prosperity. They're allergic to prosperity. They can't beat teams over 500, despite them winning 12 games last year and the year before. All right. This is the message from my close friend of Robbie Barron, who decides to get all loud and wants to text me at 8 o'clock in the morning, talk about how he feel about his Cowboys. But his Cowboys were nowhere to be found when they lost to the Arizona Cardinals. And every time the Cowboys have failed to make a playoff game, he is nowhere to be found. He's disappearing to the surface. By the way, he's my favorite dude, but he does not support the Cowboys, just like the big brother up here does. Now, I got to make sure I play this. I want to make sure you can hear it. Loud and clearly and efficient. Is it playing or not?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's not playing. Hold on. All right, hold on.
Notice how I didn't get one.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Maybe not work for you today, but it will work. It will work later in the future. But by the way, it's not even just about those Cowboys. It's about Bill Belichick as well. Is it the era? Is it the end of the Bill Belichick era? All right, with the Patriots, despite them going 1-4 and all this other mess, we can't score on offense. Is Mac Jones the main issue? Is he the main problem? That's what it's just going to come down to. Now I'm gonna try to play this video one more time, just to rub it in the Cowboys' face. I just want to be able to rub it in nice and. Don't worry about it, because it's not working. See, you're lucky Cowboys fans that my audio is messed up, but it's all right. It's all good. There's no worries and there's no pressure. But how about those Cowboys? I tried to tell you what can go wrong, will go wrong, because like I said, those Dallas Cowboys didn't do anything, all right? Mike McCarthy. You talk about Mike McCarthy's play calling, all right? It was hot garbage. The only play call that I like is when he motioned, what's his name? The running back, he was from the USFL. I forgot his name. Was it? Give me the name of it real quick.
Turpin. He's a wide receiver.
Turpin, wide receiver, right? Yeah, the punt returner, wide receiver. I like the motion and the touchdown. Other than that, I don't know what Mike McCarthy was doing. CeeDee Lamb was rejoice of frustration. All right, there's a lot of frustration going on. He was wide open. Dak didn't hit him. Why in the world in the third quarter would you run the ball on 3rd and 4 and only kick a field goal, and that's the only point you scored the rest of the game? The 49ers, like I said, Brock Purdy, he do just enough. Well, Brock Purdy hit 4 touchdowns. I don't know if he do just enough. He was, despite the holding calls for the 49ers, holding calls and all this other stuff, 3rd and 15, he chucking it to Ayuk. He chucking it to Jennings. He chucking it to Debo. I mean, he chucking that joint. He's slinging that ball. He's slinging it. I understand you stopped Christian McCaffrey. I get it. But Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, y'all forgot y'all had, George Kittle. So what are your thoughts here? What do y'all need to work on? I mean, I've said it's going to happen. It's your 3rd straight game. The media pissed off Dak Prescott, but Dak Prescott can't do anything. I said this game will come out of Dak Prescott, and I was right.
Well, I mean, you were kind of right.
Kind of. What do you mean, kind of?
Our running backs averaged 3 yards a carry. I'm not excusing his interceptions. I'm just saying we lost by 32 points. So it's not completely on him that we couldn't run the ball. Wide receivers couldn't get open. Like we were outmatched at every position. It looked like, oh, dude, I don't know. It was very, very, very humbling for sure. It hurts. It hurts. So from like not just a Homer Cowboys fan, the Niners schemed that game perfectly on offense. Everything that they were doing in the passing game was working. They caught our secondary off guard the entire game. Like we held Christian McCaffrey to 2.9 yards a carry. Who else in the NFL is doing that? Well, guess what? Doesn't matter because your defense is allowing Brock Purdy to shred you up like damn Mexican cheese that you spread on top of fucking nachos. Like it pisses me off so much watching these guys week in, week out show up as one team. They perform great. They're one of the best teams in the league. You go to the locker room, all of a sudden they forget how to do it. Next game, they come out flat as hell. It's happened obviously twice this year. They've just come out flat, come out like unenthused. It just like looks like they're not ready. Defense was Swiss cheese in the passing game. Excuse me. They were finding every open part of the zone. Brock is very, very, very well. Might be one of the better QBs in the league right now. Like, I don't think I was pretty hard on him for a while. I stuck to I'm man enough to admit it. All right. I was pretty hard on Brock Purdy. He made our defense look like a bunch of high schoolers out there, man. And it's credit to the offensive line as well, because Micah only had 4 tackles, no sacks. The team only had 1 sack all day. We allowed 3 sacks. We had the two interceptions were 100% on Dak. Like the first one, he just put way too much air underneath the ball for a closing safety. So like even if he didn't see the safety, the ball's still overthrown. There was too much air underneath it, and the safety had enough time to close it. You have the one that goes off of Michael Gallup. I don't really consider that a Dak interception, regardless of, the defender being able to get his hand in there. Like that's not an interceptable ball. It would just so happen to be tipped up off of a mixture of the cornerback and Michael Gallup's arm. And then the third interception, I've never seen a more like fundamental. This is what you want to do on defense. Follow the quarterback's eyes, follow his body. You know where to break. And guess what? Dak took the snap, shifted to the right, and threw the ball. So the linebacker was obviously like, let me see where Dak's eyes go. Oh, to this wide receiver that's literally 2 feet away from me? Yeah, okay, I'll go step over here. Boom, interception. So, yeah, that one was just bad. The first one, too much air. Second one was kind of just like a shitty play on, like, not really his fault, but it was unfortunate. At the end of the Tony Pollard fumble, oh, that just took the airs out of the sails. We get a fumble from CMC. He breaks a nice run too, Tony. Like, it was a good run. And then Fred Warner does what Fred Warner does. He was easily MVP of the night, was Fred. He was great everywhere. I don't know. I could go on forever just talking about this game. I do want to say this one thing, though. about us not being able to beat teams above 500. I'm looking at last year's schedule right now. Regular season, we won against the Eagles and we lost, so that's 1-1. We won against the Commanders and lost. They were 500, so I guess we won't count them. We beat the Giants twice, so that'd be 3-1. Beat the Vikings, that's 4-1. Lost to the Jags, that's 4-2. Beat the Lions, that's 5-2. And beat the Bengals, that's 6-2. So we were 6-2 against teams that were 500 or better last year.
I might was thinking of another step, but you're right. It's on there. I can't deny it. I was just talking about as far as when y'all get to the playoffs, y'all can't beat anybody when it goes to the playoffs. Like I said, now y'all say
we handled the Bucks.
Well, I give you that. I'm not gonna deny facts. The facts right there, I can't deny. But this play calling goes on Mike McCarthy, ladies and gentlemen. Here's why it goes on Mike McCarthy. Yes, it do. Yes, it do. It goes on Mike McCarthy.
I said it was so bad.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, okay. Well, here's part of it that goes on Mike McCarthy. Number one, why you call the same play you called in Green Bay for 15 years? Triple slants. Trips left, triple slants. And the 49ers are playing press coverage, so that's why it's easy gets intercepted because you run triple slants. Like I don't get the play calling when it comes to triple slants. Oh, let's call triple slants here. Well, that never works. Mike McCarthy's personnel and just CeeDee Lamb not getting the ball, I think it just I don't know if you got to call plays. It could be a question whether you miss Kellen Moore's play calling. I don't think you do. But that kind of plays a factor because the responsibility of a head coach game planning and calling plays is not as easy as you damn think it is because it's just really not. The defense, we've been raving about that defense, the defense. We sit there and been raving about it. They got pounded. They had George Kittle blocking Micah Parsons. George Kittle. The good thing about the 49ers, all that talent, Debo, they willing to block anybody. They willing to block anybody. The adjustment, Dan Quinn, Kyle Shanahan. Did you forget that he was your assistant with the Atlanta Falcons when y'all blew that 28-3 lead? And you were the head coach and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. Did you forget that he was your assistant? Did you forget of how he calls plays? He was with you for about 2 years before he got the job in San Francisco. Oh, by the way, Mr. Dan Quinn, why do you not make adjustments and put Micah Parsons on the right side of the tackle instead of the left tackle? You think you're going to outrun Trent Williams, a 10-time Pro Bowler? Oh, Lord, he's the highest paid offensive tackle in history of NFL, or one of the highest paid. You could have put Micah Parsons on the right side. Maybe he could have got some pressure along those lines. But at the end of the day, the 49ers did what they wanted to do with the Dallas Cowboys. And I thought it was going to be a close game. I thought it was going to be competitive. But it just wasn't competitive by the time it hit the third quarter. It was awful. It was tremendous. Like I said, the Dallas Cowboys are who we thought they were. They're not as good as you once was. And by the way, you didn't even reach the red zone. You didn't reach the red zone. We talked about the red zone. They don't execute. You didn't even reach the red zone. That's how bad your offense was. You didn't even touch the red zone. It's just pathetic. It is awful. It is awful. But like I said, the Dallas Cowboys, they have 3-4 tough games. They play the Chargers on Monday night. Guess who is a former Dallas Cowboy? Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore had Justin Herbert. Now, I understand the Chargers defense ain't all that, but you ain't facing no Brock Purdy who is 10-0, only played 15 games. You facing a Justin Herbert guy 4 years in a row, 3 years in a row, 4,000 yards, throwing. Then you have a bye week. Then you have the Rams, which they struggle, but the Rams offense ain't easy to deal with. Then you have the Eagles, which out of those 3 games, you're 3-2. You could be 4-4. Now, I'm just saying you could be 4-4. So that's enough for me in my Dallas Cowboys rant. Like I said, I had fun. I slept just fine. I slept like a baby. I know you Cowboys fans hate me, get on me, and all that stuff. But some of you Cowboy fans, not you, you're excused. Some of you Cowboy fans across America just have to sit there and be realistic. You ain't damn going to Super Bowl. You're not Super Bowl contenders. You are now second in the division. You have no chance of winning the division now. All right. And if y'all keep losing, y'all might be the last seed in the wild card and then end up losing to the Detroit Lions in the playoff. But I'm done with that rant. The next rant I need to get on to is Bill Belichick. Oh, Lord. Bill Belichick is the end of the Bill Belichick era. No, I say it's the end of the Bill Belichick era as far as being the GM. Yes, get rid of his GM duties. Yeah, we missed on draft picks. I didn't like the Cam Newton experiment. Mac Jones does give us the best chance to win. It's not just on Mac Jones. It is on the offensive line. It's on the play calling. I blame Matt Patricia and Joe Judge from last year, which that is Bill Belichick's fault, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. But also at the same time, you can't say that Mac Jones is a bad quarterback and you set him up for failure. Did you forget in Mac Jones' rookie year in 2021, they went 10-7 and made the playoffs. Nobody expected the Patriots to make the playoffs in 2021. 10-7 record. Josh McDaniels' final year as the offensive coordinator before he takes the job. That was Mac Jones' best rookie year. And by the way, the Patriots were 9-4 until they lost 3 of the last 4 games. Bill Belichick's record without Tom Brady, I think, is 26-29 or 26-30. Bill Belichick is still the greatest head coach of all time. I'm saying remove his GM duties. His GM decisions making for the last 3 years, ever since Nick Caserio left, who was the GM of the Houston Texans, and also I think Dave Ziegler as well, who was part of player personnel and all this other stuff to help the draft guys and whatnot, who was also with Josh McDaniels with the Raiders. They hadn't been the same since. They whiffed on picks. I'm not a big fan of Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't think that's a good signing, by the way. He is awful. He drops the ball. He's a TikTok dude and a YouTube guy. He doesn't know routes. He drops balls. The tight ends, the Jonnu Smith signing was awful. God awful. I mean, my God. We paid him more than we paid everybody else. God awful. The Patriots are a disappointment. I know I raved on the Cowboys, but the Patriots are a disappointment. And I'm very honest when it comes to these Patriots. I don't have any expectations for the Patriots going forward. If you're going to play like that, I have no damn expectations. There's no way the Saints are 34 points better than us. The same Saints team that gave up a 17-point lead against the Green Bay Packers. All right? It's tough. I get it. But Patriot fans like me are starting to get really, very, very impatient. This experiment is not working. Now, there is rumors going on that Bill Belichick said he wants to restart everything. Now, when he says restart everything, there's a possibility that Bailey Zappi could be the starting quarterback against the Las Vegas Raiders, and we know damn well what happened with the Las Vegas Raiders game. Now, I'm not going to talk about that. I should have broke my TV last year when I saw what the hell Jacoby Myers did. I should have broke that TV. But before I let you continue on with this end of the Bill Belichick era while you sit there nice and comfortably, why the hell did we get rid of Jacoby Myers? I don't understand getting rid of Jacoby Myers. You send him to the Raiders. He's the only wide receiver that can get separation because none of these wide receivers can get separation except Kendrick Bourne and all these other guys. I just don't get it. We got rid of some guys. The loss of Matt Judon and Christian Gonzalez is not an excuse. We sucked before then. It's not the end of Bill Belichick era. He's not going to get fired. Let's stop that nonsense. I said get rid of his GM duties, meaning he should not be making any player personnel decisions. He's a great head coach. Him being a GM and a head coach, just like what Bill O'Brien was doing with the Texans, just not a great idea. I don't think they'll fire him, but, yes, Bill O'Brien was a GM and a damn head coach and something else. That's why he got fired. Yes, he was. He was all 4 of them. I'm not comparing that. It's a fact. It's a fact, though.
That's not what I raised my eyebrows at. I raised my eyebrows.
What you raise your eyebrows for then?
That you're even comparing them. Like
it's
Bill,
a fact, though. It's a fact, though. Am I right?
But Belichick, regardless of his recent rosters he's put together, has still put 6 Super Bowl rosters together.
With the help of Dave Ziegler, player personnel and scout, and Nick Caserio, former player personnel and scout, that helped Belichick along the line before they got GM jobs.
That's
Both
fine.
of them, they're not there now.
But they weren't there the entire 20 years that he's been there. They were not there in 2000 or in 1999.
They were there from 2008. They were there from 2008 to 2020.
They had won 3 Super Bowls before that.
Well, I mean, Robert Kraft is part of this thing as well. My point and what I'm saying is I feel like Robert Kraft is giving Belichick too much power in the GM section.
But it's the same amount of power that he's always had. It's just unfortunate that your scouts aren't as good as they were in years past. But that doesn't mean that Bill isn't good. Like, not having a complete team will result in a worse team being put together. Yeah. So like your complete scouting team with studs everywhere, you don't have that anymore. I understand, but that doesn't mean that the conductor of all of it and Bill Belichick as the GM isn't still one of the best GMs in the league just because his scouts maybe aren't performing up to the level that they have in the past. Like that, before these guys came, he had already made 3 Super Bowl rosters, and then they made 3 more. So it's not like he's like, even comparing it to what Bill O'Brien was doing is a little silly in my opinion. I mean, he traded DeAndre Hopkins.
No, it's not comparison. It's a fact. Comparing it. It's just what happens.
But you said, like the Bill O'Brien situation over there, he was doing a lot and it just didn't work out, or it's not the best choice. You drew that comparison.
It's not a drawing.
Yes, you did. You drew the line. You drew it. You were like, "Here's this."
No. I'm not saying it like that.
That's the way you presented it, and that's why I raised my eyebrow.
I'm not presenting.
And that's why we started this conversation. I misheard it, I guess, but the way that you presented it.
No, I'm not comparing that. I'm not comparing that at all, because not everybody can be Bill Belichick. So I'm not comparing that at all. My point is, I think you need to give Bill Belichick, give up the GM duties, make somebody else do it, and he focus as a head coach. That's all I have to say about that. And by the way, I had no expectations for these damn Patriots. I think Mac Jones, I'm not sure if Mac Jones is going to be the answer going forward. I take some of the blame on him because his footwork is awful. He's overthrowing receivers. They don't have to be wide open, but open enough, what Julian Edelman said in the Colin Cowboys podcast, open enough is just open enough. So the frustration is just a lot. I'm not sure Mac Jones can handle the pressure. Bill O'Brien is not the issue because he has to clean up all the mess of the Joe Judge and Matt Patricia stuff. But I'm done. I'm done ranting on these Patriots. I'm done. I'm frustrated. I understand that I just took a 20-minute rant and ranted on the Dallas Cowboys, but I went to sleep just fine last night. This does not affect my mental health because, like I said, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs until everything gets fixed. I'm not sitting here going to say the Patriots going to the Super Bowl because it's just not going to damn happen. The way we present ourselves on the field, getting outscored 72-3 in 2 goddamn games, we suck. We are awful. We can't do anything. The defense, you can't expect the defense to do everything at all. So it starts with the offense. Bill Belichick, you better restart. You better drink a glass of Henny. You better be doing something, old man, because I'm sick of this. We're 1-4. That's the worst since 2000. So go ahead and your Bill Belichick rant. The Patriots ain't shit, and they sorry as fuck. If you keep continuing to losing, I'm not going to watch them.
Yeah. Ramondre is taken, or is, he's regressed. Mac is ass, son. He is not good at quarterback. Now, you got to sit there and take this because I just listened to you give it to me.
That's fine with me. I go to sleep just Friday night.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm just letting you know while you're sitting there listening to me talk about how sorry this team is right now. Just know that I just had to listen to your Cowboys rant about.
That's fine with me.
So, all right. That's enough of the pleasantries. Let me get down to it. Max sucks. All right, he's not good at the sport of football, and obviously there's hyperbole in that. He had a great rookie season, and he has shown flashes of being a good quarterback. But I think that the consistency is a major issue, and I think it's what has reared its head so far this year is that Mac, behind an O-line that at first was healthy and has steadily gotten more and more banged up, he's not doing anything to overcome it, and he's not getting help through the run game at all. Ramondre had a great year last year. He's regressed. Zeke is what we thought Zeke was. Like, he can get you 4 yards a carry on like 7 carries a game or something like that. But if you give it to him more, I don't think he's got the gas tank that he used to when he was tearing up the league on the Cowboys. And yeah, Juju sucks too. I don't say it like, I don't like to say that NFL players suck a lot, because obviously
no, he sucks. Juju is horrible. He sucks.
I am not an NFL. I'm not a professional athlete, so I don't have the biggest, chair to stand on when I yell this. But whatever, he sucks. All right, like I will take it. He's not good. He hasn't been good since like his second year in Pittsburgh, really, and then he just went off of clout pretty much after that. So, like when it comes to, well, and when you guys let go of the receiver that's in Las Vegas now, people were happy about it because he's the one that threw away the game against Vegas, and he didn't really perform as well. Jacoby Myers, sorry. And so then now he's on a team that has a similar quarterback in Jimmy G to Mac Jones. Just the difference is Jimmy is a good game manager, and up to this point, Mac is a bad game manager. Just off stats and records so far, Jimmy is gone to the Super Bowl as a game manager. Mac has gone one season above 9 wins. So like he's on a team that has a game manager. He's getting yards now. He's getting open. And it helps that he's wide receiver 2. So I don't want to make it seem like, he's got the same amount of attention. It's just when he was in New England, he didn't have someone drawing all that attention away from him like it is now, and he has Devontae on the other side of the ball. But yeah, I mean, there's just lots of holes. And injuries are obviously that messes up every team, but Judon and Gonzalez are huge losses. The offensive line is banged up. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of in just this middle ground area of like mediocre and ass. And I trust Bill enough to not be ass, but right now they are. And something's got to change, obviously. I don't know.
Well, if nothing changes, then I could just I could just continue to destroy all Cowboy fans, and I'll be fine with that, because I went to sleep just well last night. But the Patriots do need to tighten up. By the way, it's awful. It's god awful. So they do need to tighten up, and I can take it because, like I said, I'm a man. I'm a man of my words, so I can sit there and take that punishment. I know we suck. I'm about to lose. No, I see it on TV. It's awful. I didn't even watch the game after the fourth quarter, so they need to tighten up. They're god awful, but this is the end, not the only end. Next episode will be the final episode of the night before Monday Night Football kicks off in 45 minutes, which we'll probably both be watching the Eli Manning and Peyton podcast because, the Peyton station or whatnot, because they're funny. They're entertaining. Nobody want to listen to Joe Buck. Troy Aikman is a football guy, but Joe Buck. I don't want to listen to that motherfucker, by the way. But Nets, week 5 NFL, recap. Dallas Cowboys are not Super Bowl contenders. What is wrong with the Minnesota Vikings? They're god awful. Jesus Christ. They're 1-4 and they lost all games within one score. We're talking about that next in Lambo Sports. Catch you in the next 5 minutes. Boom, boom. Adios. How about them Cowboys?